for the new sort of new image and moving forward.
I'm Chief Patrick Madabi, one of the executive members that's been involved with the tournament for many, many years. This is a very historic occasion where we're dedicating this little NHL Traveling Mobile Hall of Fame. This exhibit will travel to all First Nations in Ontario which are highway accessible. We will be putting together a schedule of its touring venue sometime in the early spring, probably within a month or so, and it will actually hit the road this summer, and from the May till probably October time period. We will be actually advertising for a position for somebody to take this trailer on the road, but not only just drive it there, but also to be able to give the history and explain the components that are in this little NHL Hall of Fame. The memorabilia has been collected here for the past 35 years. We have here with us today one of the original founders, former Chief James McGregor. We have Frank Cordier representing his uncle Earl Abataswe, who was one of the original founders who was supposed to be here. He's missing in action. And some of the Chiging founders are also somewhere in the city and can't be found. I think they're enjoying the hospitality of the city of Sudbury. I want to welcome Mayor Courtemanche, a special guest here. And also want to thank the various officers from the various detachments from Sudbury Regional Police, the native officers from the Ontario Provincial Police, and our own UCCM Tribal Police, who have come to give us an honor guard here this afternoon. Want to say as well, something like this just didn't happen overnight. We have been trying for many, many years to put something like this in place to showcase what our communities and our First Nations have done from the inception of this tournament 35 years ago, when 17 teams descended upon Little Current with the 3 original First Nations of Chiging, Ondek-Omnikoning, and Whitefish River coordinating the very first tournament. And a lot of these communities that have been participating have been here all those years, and we've grown to close to 120 teams now. Putting this thing together, I want to particularly give mention to Jim McGregor, who has managed to save a lot of the memorabilia over the years, and it's an integral part of what goes into this thing has been collected by Jim. I want to acknowledge our president, George Francis, of the Little NHL. He's been with this thing since its inception, along with many, many other people. The executive members are here as well. I'll just quickly name some of the ones that I can see. Marvin Asinaway, Delma Toulouse, Lloyd McGregor, of course our president George Francis, Robert Restoul, Chico Ralph, Manny Neville, Mike Hill, and Daryl Hill. I'm not sure where Daryl is. There he is, hiding back there, Daryl Hill. And Franklin Pabamsek, Chief Franklin Pabamsek, Whitefish River First Station. And I'm on the executive as well, Patrick Madabi. At this time, I wanted to just acknowledge the major contributors to this thing. Obviously, something like this costs a significant amount of dollars. We went as the LNHL executive and made a presentation to the Chiefs of Ontario through the Ontario First Nations Limited Partnership to secure funding for the operation of this trailer, plus a coordinator to assist in the coordinating the LNHL. It takes 1 year of planning to put a tournament of this size together. And we really sincerely thank the Ontario First Nation Limited Partnership and the Chiefs of Ontario for their continued support. Other major supporters over the years have been Indian and Northern Affairs Canada. We also want to thank the Dreamcatcher Fund, who's been absolutely phenomenal and instrumental in helping to assist the various teams and individuals in bringing children here to the tournament. We've got new major sponsors this year, CTV, Royal Bank RBC Exhilarate, the power drink, energy drink, which is going to be the official energy drink of the Little NHL. You're going to see them in high prominence here. Skater's Edge, also a local business that's been very active. At this time, I'm going to call on our president, George, just say a few words. George Francis.
Honey, bonjour. Je viens de Misarek. Rigi Lamapi. On the Benojik. With up north. On the good Maggie. Kenashkran. Well, in it. We are much kind. That is shit. We go get conduct, go get country. I'll declare we are. We should not. Cannot dream of saying. There's the reason of that you use every year. You got it.
Thank you, George. Also, maybe some welcoming remarks from Mayor Courtemanche, City of Sudbury.
Thank you. Welcome back. We're so pleased that the Little NHL tournament is back in Sudbury. Congratulations to all the organizers and everyone involved on your 35th anniversary and on the grand opening of a very impressive Hockey Hall of Fame that a lot of people are going to see in the coming years. We're so glad you're here, and we wish all of you a very successful hockey tournament this week in Big Witch.
Thank you, Mayor Courtemanche. We're going to hear from two more speakers, and then we're going to officially open the Little NHL Hall of Fame traveling mobile. Frank Corbier, if you'd like to say a few words on behalf of your uncle.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to say a few words on behalf of my uncle here. I hope I do him a little bit of justice. I was at the first and most of all the Little NHLs that have gone on over the years. We didn't realize it was going to get this big way back then, but we've persevered all these years, and we really appreciate all the participation in this tournament. And with that, thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Just before I turn it over to one of the key original founders, Jim McGregor, I want to ask our Ontario Regional Chief, Angus Toulouse, to say a few words as well. And welcome, Angus.
Thanks there, Patrick. Nice to be here, and it's nice to reflect way back when. I think I participated in the very first tournament that Little NHL put on, so I really want to acknowledge those organizers and the founders for a tournament that always brought together youth, always brought together boys a long time ago, now girls, which is a major part of the tournament. So it's good that all our youth can continue to participate, and we've seen many youth grow up to be role models and professional hockey players. So this tournament has really done all that, and it's good that we do take the time to acknowledge all the historic participants that have participated here and played and really enjoyed themselves. So it's good that we do acknowledge that, and it's good that George, Patrick, and everybody here has taken the time to get this trailer, this mobile unit that will showcase the Little NHL. So you got you.
Thank you, Ontario Regional Chief Toulouse. This time I'm going to call on one of the original founders, Jim McGregor, to say a few words, and then when he's done, he'll officially open the exhibit.
Thank you very much, Pat. I never dreamed that we'd have a little trailer like this for a showcase for our Little NHL. It's a dream come true. And I remember the first tournament we had, we already had 16 teams, that came all the way from Moose Factory and you name it, local, and our local First Nations was out. And I believe just the late Lance Self, myself, we were only two running around trying to keep the tournament going. Now I look around, there's quite a few here now. So with that, I'd like to say thank you very much. Thanks for all your help.
Okay, Jim, officially declare this open.
There you go.
Okay, in a couple of minutes, we're going to lower the back of the trailer. That's the entrance, because it starts at that end with the exhibits that showcase the original founders. And then you come back out this door. So anyone wants to walk through, we're going to open the back and get it started. So thank you everyone for coming. Big much.
So you wait.
Okay, thank you, perfect.
I'm not sure once it clears off there.
He's getting you first. Whoa, cool bones. Then I'll make coffee shoes.
The LNHL Mobile Hall of Fame is a collection of memorabilia for the past 35 years of the Little Native Hockey League tournament. A lot of the memorabilia was collected by various members of the Little NHL executive, but the key person that saved a lot of the history of our tournament has been former Chief Jim McGregor, who was one of the original founders. And he was here today to cut the ribbon for the grand opening ceremony. He's the one that donated and dedicated all this memorabilia to showcase our children from the First Nations in Ontario.
What does it contain? What sort of things?
It contains a lot of the real neat things, like some of the original programs, some of the original game sheets, the little jackets that a child wore back several years ago. It shows a lot of some of the old trophies. We've retired the Eagle staff that was donated to the tournament by one of the host communities, Sagamok and Anishinaabe, Felix Stony Point. Had that one. We've had a ceremony to dedicate a new Eagle staff for the Little NHL this year. And there's plaques dedicating to the original founders. There's also exhibits there showcasing some of the players that have gone on to play in the pro ranks. We'll be honoring this evening the founders, some of the builders that helped build this tournament, and we've started a Little NHL Players Alumni who will be inducted, and we're inducting 3 players this evening. Ted Nolan, who played for Detroit Red Wings and the Pittsburgh Penguins, and former coach of the Buffalo Sabres and NHL Coach of the Year. He's now coaching junior hockey in New Brunswick. Barry Hawk Tababadun from Wassac Sing First Nation. He played for the Prairie Sound Shamrocks, Oshawa Generals, and he played for the Philadelphia Flyers. We've had also Gerard Pelche, who played for the Cornwall Royals Memorial Cup team and went on to play hockey in Sweden. We've had many players go through. Some of the more current players that are still playing in the NHL include Chris Simon and Jonathan Chichu. So we also have Cody McCormick, who plays for the Colorado Avalanche.
Why was this trailer created?
We needed to showcase the accomplishments of our First Nations children, because this thing really talks about the humble beginnings of this tournament to where it has grown from 17 teams to now 120 teams, and it really shows the progression and the accomplishments, because a lot of the kids that have come through the Little NHL have either gone on to play in much higher competition, or they are now the leaders in our communities.
Where will this go? It will be every year, of course, at the Little NHL. Where does it go throughout the year? Throughout the year, this will be sent out to special events, but primarily it will tour all highway accessible First Nations that are part of the Little NHL. So they'll be visiting various parts all over Ontario. Do you think this trailer will become one of the highlights of this event?
Oh, most definitely. I think this is we're so proud that this trailer has been dedicated, and we thank the Ontario First Nations Limited Partnership and the Chiefs of Ontario for their support for this trailer for the Little NHL.
What do you think people will get out of it who visit it?
A lot of memories. I think also a lot of the younger kids will get to see what their older brothers and sisters and uncles, maybe even grandfathers have done in the Little NHL.
That's all I need? Excellent. Thank you so much. Great job. Try to get your name, okay, for spelling.
He had the idea because he was hooked in with the original
Georgetown.
Little NHL, right? And you got this guy. We're going first in the fourth, very, very special category to start. Then we're going to get into builders.
Let's start logging now.
What's the voting guidelines for that?
Oh, it's pretty strict. I may not make that first pick. So then there's
Try every year.
Yeah, I try every year. But here's the official rules. There was the Little NHL rules way back. I found them. That was the one that they were using. I kept checking. It said Little NHL rules live. Yeah, that's the ones that they were using now. There's our new ones that are sort of what we've said finally.
Yeah.
Here's the rules. You know, like we've gone through it and.
Brings you back, eh?
Yeah, it brings you back. That's a Whitefish River team.
Good. So what you had?
And my oldest one.
Here's the new book. These are 35. Having the discussion here. Well,
I don't know where we're still missing a couple of counters.
then we come back here. How did it go?
Yeah.
Oh, there.
Every day, 365.
Yesterday, we had it down in Toronto.
Yeah.
That was last minute.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try in a second. Who? Go, work on it.
Stop. No, but I mean, even strategic, not to put, maybe just the odd one. Maybe get a certain number there and
We weren't anticipating. Yeah.
just flatten and strategically locate them. I mean, even if you have to, you could probably shave the
Concept.
We were in, I don't know what the heck to do here. I don't know what these people are at. Over?
No, we have a room and, so I don't know. She's getting up there.
No.
Was that from your